everyone who's made it today. Thank you so much for giving us another chance to have this live stream with you.
Yes.
We really are grateful to everyone who's taken time to join in. I can see very many people are already live with us.
Yes.
We are your hosts today. My name is Martha Inyuma.
And my name is Sally Kimutai.
And of course, today we just want to engage you. We want to make it as interactive as possible. We're live on all our social media handles at TSAVO.ke on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Instagram. Thank you so much for everyone who's joined in. Please feel free to stay along, share your experiences. Let's learn from each other. But without further ado, let's start with a word of prayer. Father, in the mighty name of Jesus Christ, I want to thank you. I want to give you all the glory and honor for enabling us here to see another day in good health and in good spirit, oh Lord. We want to thank you for the wisdom that you've given each of us, oh Lord, to share in the topic that we'll indulge in today, oh Lord. How I pray that you may increase in us as we decrease in ourselves, oh my Father. I pray that you may enable us to listen, to learn, to understand, and be able to apply each and everything that we'll be able to learn from this place, oh Lord. We bless you for the Savorites. We bless you for everyone who's taken time to tune in. And how I pray that this may be fruitful to each and every soul that may land upon it. It is in the mighty name of Jesus Christ I do pray, trusting and believing.
Amen.
So thank you so much.
Yes. So today's topic, we'll be learning about the power of investing as a group. Yeah. So we'll take you through the stories and the why behind coming together, and things like that. Yeah. So please feel free to engage us. Maybe we can start by you telling us if you are in a chama or an investment group. What is your name of the group? Yes. And we'll see how we can be able to engage as we go along. Yeah. So
I think we can see very many people who started tuning in and sharing their comments on YouTube. I can see Amo saying, I'm excited. After all, we might get ideas on how to invest with my friends. Thank you so much, Amo. And we are very hopeful that we'll be able to share light on that. I can see Martin Kanyi. Martin Kanyi is one of our investors. He's saying tuned in. I can see Kilewi Isaac, Anayeka Moto. He's on fire. I can see Liz Wanjiru Nyaga. She's saying, yay, made it in good time. Welcome, Liz. I think Sally knows you. Yeah, I can see Mchuku Stella. I'm fired up. Can't wait. Thank you so much, Stella. Please do share your comments on our comment sections on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram at TSAVO.ke. And I think we just want to know, are you in a chama?
Yes.
What's the name of your chama group? Why do you have a chama?
Yes.
Hata kabla watu wajajibu, let me say. Mimi, I think when you look at just the Kenyan culture in general, I think we've not been really exposed into savings. And I remember when maybe like when COVID really hit us really hard, my mom just decided, okay, you guys, we need to form a group.
Yes.
I know Kenyan families all have chama groups.
Yes.
Sisi kwetu hatukuwa nayo. So we started our chama group just the other day.
Yeah.
It's called Inyuma Girl Child. and we just decided to come in as a family and have all the girls together to start a group that can save towards investing together.
Yes.
Yeah, and maybe even as you share, you can just tell us what's your chama name, Aki, for sure. Mine is, I think, Inyuma Girl.
Are you sure? You probably don't.
And our purpose is just to, save up to until we can get to a point where we can afford to invest.
Yeah. So for what Martha has said, what is the purpose of your chama? Like, are you in a chama to save? Are you in a chama to buy utensils? I think most of us have known that chamas are for women, and these women just meet on Sundays and they just buy utensils for each other. Yeah. But I'm sure today we'll be able to learn of so many different chamas doing so many different things to further themselves. Yeah. So and it's a myth that chama has women only. No, we have chamas that have men.
Yes. And that's why we are very specific to say, there are chama groups, the investment groups, and the people who just come in as family or friends, Yes. And maybe just to start off, I think, and from what Sally is saying, there's a lot of myth behind, having a chama or being together, coming together to, put money together or invest together. And maybe this might inspire you. So if you've heard of TSAVO, Of course, you are aware of what we do. If you've not heard of TSAVO, we are a real estate investment company. So we give options to people to come in and invest with us. And so, and a great shout out to Christine Omolo. Christine Omolo is one of our investors, and she enabled us to meet a group of ladies that really inspired us, even to come up with such a topic as, unity together.
Yes.
And Christine Omolo introduced us to a group that is in Kibera, a group of teachers who, couldn't earn much. They don't earn that much. Yeah.
Yes.
So these people have a huge desire to invest, but they don't have enough to, to buy a unit or even invest in land, for example. Yeah. And so they came together as a group and started contributing, and they could contribute as little as 500 shillings on a monthly basis. Yeah, and eventually by the time they were coming to TSAVO, it was a different story. They could actually afford to buy a one bedroom. And that's the strength of unity. Yeah. That is the strength of people coming in together. And I think Little Rock has really shown, that anyone is capable of owning an apartment. Yes. Yeah. If you look through our website, I think there was a point when we were doing the handover for 90 Degrees, they stood up and actually shared their story. Yeah. And they couldn't believe that they're actually earning rent at this moment. Yeah. But that's the strength of, chamas.
So you can imagine as little as 500 shillings. Yeah. So you can imagine 500 shillings is not even weekend money. 500 shillings is your lunch money. Yeah. And with that amount of money, just being able to come together and with a common cause and a common purpose, and being able to actually come and get a unit and start earning rental income from it, that is very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. Yeah.
And so, of course, now we as we have said, we would like to share, to just understand, are you in a chama, are you in an investment group, what is the name, what is the purpose?
Yes.
And maybe just as you start sharing your comments, I could just, share a bit of lessons that we learned from the Little Rock story. So the group is called Little Rock, a group of ladies who came together to contribute as little as 500, and actually, and they had the will to invest. And eventually they were able to buy a one bedroom, yeah?
Yes.
And one of the lessons that we cannot assume is the confidence you gain when investing together.
Yes, that's very, very true.
So the moment you come in together and everyone is disciplined enough and putting their contribution towards, the investment, or even if you're still contributing, putting the money towards, contributions or investments or savings, you gain confidence. You gain confidence as an individual that even when you get to a point where you can invest independently, you'll be able to invest.
Yes.
And of course, number two, there's minimal risk. So when you're looking at, the investment space, of course, one of the things that you really need to look through is risk. And unfortunately, some of the decisions that you might make might be of high risk, others might be of low risk. But the moment you are a group of people, you've coming together, you've made a decision to invest or save towards an investment, then there's a lot of risk that you'll be able to evade and mitigate. Yes. And number one is, then the more the people, the more the questions are asked. Right questions are asked. Yes. So meaning you're doing proper due diligence, you have understood the investment you're getting yourself into, and therefore the risk is less. I mean, if you're entering a loan, it's quite easy for you to overlook anything that might come up with in terms of a risk. You might overlook simply because you can go in and just make that decision. But when you're many, people come sit together and question everything regarding what is the next steps for this chama. Number three, another lesson of course that we learned from Little Rock is the discipline towards investment. When people are talking about investing, I think very many people unfortunately just focus on capital gain. Having initial capital and then having access to the investment. But there's more to that. There's so much more towards investing. And you can think of discipline, just the discipline to have a monthly contribution from each member. As of course, as you're coming in as a group, you're given that peer pressure, but which is very good. That enables you to you have a responsibility to contribute on a monthly basis. Even after the group, you're able to maintain the discipline.
And even cut that discipline across your life. So if you have people you're accountable to, they can be able to hold you accountable to even other aspects of your life. So that's a very, very positive thing.
Yes. I can see some comments are still coming in.
Yes. So we have people coming in on Instagram, karibuni sana. You feel free to ask more questions. Yeah. On Facebook, Anjuguna karibu sana. On YouTube, we have Kilemi Isaac saying, "You look lovely, my colleagues." Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Isaac. Emily Mcharo, hi, lovely TSAVO ladies. Hello, Emily, representing from Watate. Yeah. Gitao Muraguri logged in as for Humor Ventures in Kenya, South Africa, UK, and the USA. So Gitao Muraguri is my investor, and yeah. So karibuni sana. Yes. Well, yes. I think that's it.
That's it, yes. So another lesson that we've learned from Little Rock, or just in, unity, coming together as a group, yeah. There is the affordability bit, yeah. So when you come to Kenya, very many people would like to invest, especially very many people would like to invest in real estate and in Nairobi, for example, but people shy away due to the cost of just investing as an independent person. Yeah. So when you're coming in as a group, then it becomes more affordable because you can distribute the amount of, if it's the purchase price or if it's the deposit, it can be spread across the members.
Yes. Another thing on affordability, I think when you're in a group, you get to have different expertise. Let's say, for example, even if you are a group of, like, for example, Little Rock, yeah, they are a group of ladies, yeah, but then they have different friends from different aspects, different fields, yeah. So it makes it very easy to just ask. Okay, you can ask your lawyer friends on due diligence. So you end up just cutting a bit of costs when it comes to mitigating your risk.
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, I don't know what lessons you're learning in your chama. Please feel free to talk to us about it. Let's see if we have any more comments. No, we don't have. What do? We share my personal story, I think. Yeah, so I'm in a chama. It's called Leltai. I don't know if my members are in the live, but yes, we started a group back in 2018. The goal was to see how we can be able to invest as young ladies. And when we started out, of course, the things that we were able to see were that we were not, yes, we knew each other, we grew up together and all, but we obviously had different lives, yes, but when we came together, we were able to now say, okay, now we need to understand each other, understand our spending habits, understand our dynamics. So these new group dynamics that come in, and it was quite a challenge at first, for sure. So we just decided, let's just give ourselves 1 year and be able to just contribute on a monthly a certain amount of money. And as we also just tracked that, our behaviors, yeah. And in that, we ended up building a very good foundation. So we ended up being very, very good friends. So when we decided to start investing, we figured, we have very little money. Yes, so we given the fact that we have different members in different fields, so they can be able to bring in just ideas on how we can be able to raise capital, yeah? And what we ended up doing is table banking at first. So we just did table banking with 500 shillings. Imagine. So yes, we're contributing
on a monthly basis.
Yes. So we're contributing a certain amount, maybe 1,500, towards the SACCO, which will lead us to invest. Yes. But then we have 500 shillings for table banking. So within a span of 1 year, so that was 2019. Within a span of 1 year, we're able to double that 500 shillings, because now with table banking you have to borrow every other month. So we got to a point where even members from the chama could be able to borrow 50K from the chama, and then now return with interest. So yes, so that enabled us to grow capital for investing. So now by the time we were ready for investing, so that this is now 2.5 years down the line. Unfortunately, COVID hit. And of course, everybody was scared. Everybody was scared of investing, of putting up money. Some people didn't have jobs. So it definitely was a challenge, but given the fact that we spent so much time in the first year building friendships, being there for each other, and understanding that these are things that happens in life, yeah, and also just not trying to beat ourselves too hard about it. So we just decided let's take a break as well and continue with the savings, yeah, as we also try and just give ourselves time as we figure out what we still invest in, yeah. So yeah, so that's my story for my chama. I don't know if they're there to comment more, yeah, and it's called Leltai.
Why the name Leltai?
Leltai means Kuona Mbele in Kale.
Kuona Mbele. Yeah. When everyone is Kale.
No, not really.
Yeah.
Not really.
And so yes. how many are you in the group?
We are 7.
How old has the chama been in existence?
Yeah, it's been in existence for 3 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest questions that people, would ask, or before joining a chama, you'd want to, just consider what was the need behind you guys starting a chama.
Yes.
And considering, I think when you were just explaining how the group began,
yeah.
You guys weren't like actual friends at the beginning. You started becoming better friends while, while at it.
Yes.
What was the need then, and how did you identify that this is the person that I'm going to start this chama with, or this is the group that I want to join as an investment group?
Yeah. So one of the things that we looked at was we've been in each other's lives for quite a while. Yeah. We are basically around the same age, and yeah, just thinking what better place to start other than home, like people you know. So this can be your friends from high school, from campus, from childhood, people you just have the same. You're actually just having the same mind, yeah. And the reason at first that we wanted to start was to also be in each other's lives. So you remember, as young girls, we also go through different stages in life. So we were at the stage of starting to get jobs. Then now, at some point, everybody had a job, and then now, people started getting married. So you're there for them during that season in their lives. And yeah, so I'm thinking once we get to the stage where we're all having babies, we'll still raise the children together. Yeah. At least we have the same values, at least we have the same beliefs. So it'll be easier on us even as individuals. But now the main thing was for us to get ahead. So to just pull our resources, we have a lawyer in the group, we have an accountant, we have different professions. So just pull our minds together and be able to come up with something that is powerful. So we've not gotten there yet, but at least I can say for the last 3 years, we've really, really built on our relationship. Okay. Yes. Okay.
Really, and at what point did you just notice, okay, we've been doing table banking for the longest time? Because I think very many chamas, when they get in, the first thing is you focus on, how do we get together and contribute money that once in a month, someone will be richer. We have it, you'll get the most of the, so if you're 10 and you're contributing 500 at the end of the month, one of you will get 5,000, yeah? So at what point did you notice that, okay, now we need to stop doing table banking and we can start thinking of investments, even before COVID?
Yeah. So we had a number. So we reached, how much was it? I can't quite remember. But our target was to reach, to be able to get a loan of about maybe 1.5 million. So that was our initial target. So when we were making the monthly contributions, you'd find maybe, if we're 7 of us, we're contributing maybe 1,500. That comes to about, 11,000. So about 10,000 a month. So if you're doing 10,000 a month, for the first year, that would be 120. Second year, 240. So basically, we just wanted our savings to get to a point where we could borrow 3 times, so maybe 500. So we said, because our initial plan was to accelerate the investments to be in a year or so, that's why we ended up doing the table banking. So the table banking was because we would loan the very small amounts, 5,000, 10,000 to the members on a monthly basis. They bring back the money with 10% interest. So that's an extra maybe 500 shillings, an extra 1,000 shillings. Yeah, so over time it was able to grow. Yes, it was able to grow, and then we wanted to fill that number. So the 240 and then grow the table banking to another maybe 200K, and then now just combine that money and now start borrowing.
Okay, so by the time you're getting to a point where you're saying table banking is out, this means whatever you're contributing is not help.
Yes.
It's not where someone will remove money, because I'm just thinking, what would motivate someone to actually contribute for about 2 years for them to be able to have a credit, you know, of 1 million, and then for them to invest, then for them to pay for the loan, and then start getting from the investment. So this, what was the ideal structure? What was the ideal, you know, target, maybe even 5-year target for the group?
So the ideal was to probably get, so when we were doing the table banking, so the money was lent out, not to just spend, for sure, but just do business. Try and do something that will be able to give you cash back, so that you're just not borrowing just for the sake of borrowing, yeah? Okay. So we sold honey at some point. It's called Leltai Honey. If you see it, it's on Instagram. So yes, some of us sold honey. Yeah, and it gave us back the money. And then the plan was now to get that money, once we get a loan for sure, get a property. We had not decided on what to buy. We just decided we'll get a property, whether it's a shamba or now that I'm wiser, a studio apartment, and then now just earn rental income from it. Or if it's a shamba, maybe let it appreciate, or do something on the piece of land. Maybe with the different businesses that the members were doing, they can be able to utilize that. Maybe do a processing plant in the land. Something. We had not gotten to that. We just knew this is what we wanted to do. Like maybe buy land, mostly for starting. Buy land. Yes.
Okay. So without further ado, I think thank you so much for everyone who's sharing on our social media handles. I can say Anjuguna is one of our investors. She's saying the problem is getting friends to commit. Not everyone has the same vision, and as time goes, one feels like there's no need to even try. Lucky are those who found people to form a group. I don't know, maybe what you could comment on that.
Like I said, it's very different, because I do have friends. I do have friends from high school. I do have friends from campus. I do have colleagues for sure, even former colleagues and the likes. But I think it's just, if everyone has that need, like you just identify different people. I remember, like I said before, we were not very close. Yes, we knew each other, but we were not very close. Each and every one of us has a different type of life. Yani, different friends, maybe we have similar family members, but different friends for sure. But just the will, I think, just the will. And don't limit it. You can be with family for sure if you don't have friends. Because in my chama, I have family members. I have my sisters there. So it can be family as well. It can be, who else? Who else can be there? Just, I don't know. Spouse. You can be with your colleagues. Just, I think the issue really is, do you have the same mind? Are you willing to work towards a common goal? Are you willing to work towards a certain purpose? Because challenges are there for sure, for certain. Some members will not be able to contribute. Some members will run away with money. You know, these things are very, very common. But yeah, as long as you can be able to get people who have the same mind and have the same end goal, for sure.
I think, this applies across board. People selection is usually very critical. Yes. Because it means you have defined your why. Yes. So you understand why you want to do this. Yeah. And then you've already defined people who have a similar why as yours. Yeah, for sure. Because unfortunately, sometimes we might even be around friends who have not been sold maybe to the FIRE. So by FIRE, we mean financial independence, retire early. Yes. Not everyone is at the same level of, financial independence, retire early journey. Yes. There are people who've just started. There are people who have not been convinced that it's actual. Yes. And it's very possible that you might have even a very close friend, even a family member who would not understand, what is the need. And I think one of the greatest challenges is having the wrong person, and then in the middle of the journey, they decide, by the way, it's a wrap. Yeah.
And remember, there's always things that you can always do to ensure that even if you're investing together, there are articles of association. Yes. So you can be able to tell if this person leaves, what needs to happen. If this person does this, what needs to happen. Yes. Where are we putting our money? Yes. For sure. So like for us, for example, we've not removed that money because clearly we're not buying any land. So hakuna hiyo pesa tujaipeleka kwingine. So so that's how it is.
So thank you so much, Anne. I hope from even this session you'll be able to get people who are willing to, just come together, and even from, TSAVO, right? I can see Chamwada David. Thank you so much for joining. He's saying lovely. I can see on Facebook Faith Evans saying this was a much needed conversation. I like the fact that it's young people presenting it. Thank you, TSAVO. Thank you so much, Faith. I hope you'll be able to, learn and have it as fruitful as possible.
Yeah.
I can see we have people on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us. I can see Stephen Dungo. I'm watching from Scotland. Thank you, Stephen. I can see Doris Muta watching from Kiambu Road. Thank you so much, Doris. I can see Jacinta Hanan. Hello, ladies. I'm watching you from the UK. I cannot help but admire and thank you for the information you are sharing with people, absolutely free of charge. Thank you so much. I think in TSAVO we are very passionate about, knowledge, and for us, this is it. Yes. I think having the right knowledge to enable you make, justifiable decisions, or proper decisions that will enable you to become financially independent. I think that's why we exist. Yes. So please keep sharing your comments on Facebook. We are live on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube at TSAVO.ke. I can see very many people have joined us live on Instagram. Please do share your comments. What are your expectations? Are you in a chama? What are some of the challenges you've faced? Yeah? And maybe even as people start sharing, Sally, what are the challenges you've faced as a chama?
So other than COVID, which everybody has faced for sure, and it's quite unfortunate. But we've had the challenge of raising the initial capital for sure, because like I've just really expounded on that. We've also had a challenge of creating the right foundation. Yes, like Anne had mentioned earlier, it really is a challenge, and you have to be dedicated to the goal. You have to be dedicated to the purpose, so that you can be able to overcome these challenges, Maybe another thing that we have faced as a chama, indecision. For sure, I think we could have invested maybe a year and a half ago, pre-COVID, for sure, but everybody just weighing their options, etc. We started bringing in professionals. I think we had somebody coming in from a unit trust. So we had that session with them, but we still didn't make a decision afterwards. But because some of the members would think we started this thing because of getting property. Like in SSI, you're bringing all these other options, why, so all these dynamics that happen in a group. So I don't know what other challenges that people are facing in their chamas. Maybe you can share with us so we can be able to expound on them.
Yes. Of course, even as you share the challenges, you can also share your, names of the chamas and investment groups,
or even the highs.
Yeah, or even the good things.
The good things that are happening.
Yes. So some of the challenges, of course, just having a proper structure. Yes. What are the solutions you've started applying, or what are the solutions you've applied already so far?
So a structure. Oh yes, structure is one of the most faced challenges. Yeah. So what happens in this case is that you need to form, like I said, you need to first have, you need to register the company, have the proper certifications. Also, another thing you need to do is have the articles of association. So that one, my very good lawyer friend says, it helps keep this chama going. Whether a member pulls out or there's lack of discipline, in terms of the commitments and the monthly payments, what happens. So it's cast on paper. So it's not this month I feel like this, the other month we feel like treating this other person like no. It's actually cast on stone, and you're able to all know. Another thing that you can be able to do to be able to structure the chama properly is that you have to have the positions. You have the chair, the secretary, the treasurer, and maybe have these positions in rotation. So this helps you identify good leaders. You can be able to test it out maybe in a year or in 6 months, depending on how fast you want to start, or it just depends. It's your personal chama. You can make your own rules, And then you can be able to identify, okay, this person would be probably very good at bookkeeping, so this would be our treasurer. This person is very good at taking the minutes. So this person can be our secretary. But then still not really saying that these 3 people or these 4 people will be your leaders for the next 5 years or 10 years. No. At least still have it on rotation, just for the purposes of to encourage even others to learn some of the traits that it takes to be a good leader.
Yes. And of course, COVID, we can't assume, the fact that COVID really hit most of us very hard. But I think that's one of the benefits of being in a chama, because not everyone, ng'ombe tano zote haziwezi chinjwa at once, but not everyone will be able to be affected in the same intensity or at the same time. So how did you go through, or how are you surviving through this COVID season?
So surviving through COVID, we actually just came up with the bare minimum, the bare minimum amount, and just decided we'll not give pressure. We even took a break for 6 months. From, I think, July, officially a break. But if you feel like you can be able to contribute, please do. But then we officially gave everyone a break so that they can be able to focus on really trying to survive mostly. And then, I think now that we are back in this year, things are starting to look up. We want to take charge of that this season, where things at least are starting to pick up. The attitude is very positive. So, and see if we can be able to get back to where we had left it at. And now maybe start investing in the year.
And so maybe even I can see, please keep sharing your comments. I can see some of the comments flowing in. Maybe you can just encourage, because I think when people start, one of the biggest question is how much can we, we want to start, yes, and we want to start while investing in the transition.
Yes.
And so the initial capital becomes the elephant in the room. So what kind of encouragement would you give to the people out here who are listening to us today?
So it depends where you're starting from. What are your goals? Like, start with the why for sure. If you want to take up an investment where you need to raise 300,000 and you're probably 10 of you, how long do you need to raise 30,000? You can ask yourselves that. Do you need a year? Do you need a month? Do you need 6 months? It depends. So you can use that as a guide. So maybe begin with the end in mind. Really, what do we want to achieve? How much do we want to raise? How will we get there? And then you can determine now in how long you'll get there. But then also not overstretching yourselves. I think also being honest enough in the group to be able to say, okay, so Mimi, I can be able to raise 5,000 comfortably. Somebody else will say, I can be able to raise 1,000 comfortably. I can be able to raise 3,000. So, and then you kind of find a middle ground. Because remember, if it's somebody's weekend money, it's probably somebody's shopping for the month. So that's very, very real. And also being realistic as well. If you're realistic, you'll be able to know, okay, I'm a 25-year-old, I'm a 30-year-old, these are my expenses. I think this now goes back to the topic on budgeting and all. And so these are my expenses, but this is what I can be able to prioritize on. So start from there. Be realistic. You'll probably hear of chamas who, these are ladies who are 40 years old, or these are ladies who are 35, or men for sure, who are in that age bracket, and they would probably contribute 100K. Okay, to me that sounds way it's very unachievable for me. So I would not try and say
that's something that you can do. Yes. I can see a question from so he's saying, we formed an investment group and people never contributed consistently. That's how it died a slow death. I think that is the most common problem that usually has. I remember when I started, I was explaining how, COVID hit us and my mother decided, we need to start something. We need to start round table banking. Round table banking, And so we did it a bit consistently until when? So normally what happens with round table, see, you guys are like 10. So the first person will get the first month, the second, the third. So how it was organized in terms of, how people are receiving the funds was based on their the ability at the moment, you know. There are people who are hit harder with COVID than others. Yeah?
Yes.
So the first few people got, you know, enough capital, the exact amount that was expected. By the time we were getting to where we were, the money had reduced by half, you know. And actually, unfortunately, that is the cause. Because the moment something like that happens, then you won't have the motivation to do it again. And unfortunately, that is not even towards an investment. That is the bare minimum. Having a round table so that you can have something at the end of the month. And he's also adding, please expand on the why.
I guess the why is I can't use why. So the why is basically what drives you. What is the essence of that group? What is the essence of even you as a person? Like, what are you doing, you know? And it mostly drives decisions, and it helps you come up with a purpose. So so when you begin to ask yourselves, why do you want to do this? Why do you want to come together? Ask yourselves the 5 whys. Ask it until you can be able to have all the answers. Because if I say I'm investing with my friends, or because we want to buy, or we want to be able to furnish each other's houses, okay, so I'll say, okay, so why do we want to do this? Is it that our friends, they can't be able to do it, or is it that we want to do it just because? Or just ask each and every, like, just break it down to the 5th why, so that you can be able to actually find a solid purpose.
I think, and maybe just to add on what you have said, Sally, I was discussing with one of our investors, and she told me, yes, you can form a group, or you can save up to something, or you can, you know, dedicate all your savings towards, you know, and you're putting all that money in a bank account. And she told me that's actually the most dangerous thing to you know, the most dangerous stage to be in, being cash rich. And you see, the problem is, yes, you might have a why, but is it sustainable? Is it achievable? Can you start? Can you actually start working on that why? Because unfortunately, sometimes it's better to make a wrong decision than not to make a decision. Even if it's investing. Because I wouldn't sit here and promise that whatever you will invest in is 0% risk. For sure. The risk can only be mitigated by both parties. So the person, the place or person, or you know, whatever you're trying to, you know, to invest in, and you as yourself, have you done enough due diligence? So risk cannot be, you know, eliminated 100%. But staying with the money does not make it any better. So how do you get to a point that you are gaining, the discipline to save up as a group, but again, directing it towards an investment, so that, you see, the situation that Sam is talking about is actually, you know, okay, Mefika, 5 people contributed, then dead end. So the money is just staying in the account. And let me tell you, the day all of you will go broke, that money won't be enough to feed you. All of you. It will feed one person, for sure. And so how do you redirect all kinds of savings towards something that is now, that starts generating income?
And remember, like you've just said, you'd rather take the risk at this, when it's still young, when the chama is still young, so that you can explore, experiment on different types of things, investments, and you'll soon get to the actual thing that works for the group. Yes.
I can see Martin Kanye saying, my opinion is, if you want to start a chama, first come together and decide what your goals are before contributing any cash.
For sure.
Because if you accumulate the money and start discussing what to do, you won't. Being cash rich, you won't do. He's adding, come to a good conclusion. That's true. Thank you so much, Martin Kanye. I can see Maureen Jelagat.
She's saying really insightful and informative. Yes. She's one of our members in my chama.
Oh, yes. Maureen, maybe you can share with us the experience that Sally has not mentioned. Kama walikufinya saya But and I think Sam, thank you so much for sharing that question. That is a really, really, you know, it's the norm. It actually just happens. But there are some of the, you know, challenges that have not been mentioned. And maybe Sally, you can just take us through some of them. Just some of the challenges that people face when, you know, they come together as a group.
So maybe what we've not talked about is integrity. Integrity is a key attribute for anyone, really. Whether you're working, whether you're in your family, So, and this really plays a key role in your group. So remember, like we've said, you might be contributing money and putting it into a certain account, and certain people are actually the ones in charge of that account, and you're there maybe taking up, you sign, the three of you or the two of you come and take money from the chairman. So that works towards demotivating the rest of the members, for sure. Another example of integrity would be when you're also making investments. So when you're making purchases and you're trying to see what you can be able to do, you go to a certain provider and you cut corners, you know, because you know you're a charmer and you have the money, so you start cutting corners. Maybe you hike the price. Those things will eventually come to light, and it will just work against the group for sure. Yeah. Maybe another thing would be disparity. Like we've said before, basically just get to know how much you can be able to do, to how much money you can be able to contribute towards an investment, in all honesty. But then don't put yourself in a situation where you can't meet their purpose and their goals. So that works against you as a person, and it will also work against the group, because now you'll be strained, you'll be missing meetings, and such things just work against group dynamics. Yeah. I don't know if you have anything else.
I think there's one of the greatest challenge when you're coming in together. Remember, these are, well, you might be like-minded people, but still different people coming in together.
Yes.
And there might be a high risk on the investment due to either lack of knowledge or undefined purpose. Of course, we talked about purpose, but lack of knowledge. Yeah. So very many people, especially when you're in a group, it's very easy to have a group mentality. So everyone comes with a solution. We say, okay, we are going to buy land in
Kangundo Road.
Okay, let's say Kajiado. You're going to buy land. I can't say that one. So you're going to buy land in Kajiado, and simply because you're aware that people from your background buy land and all that. Everyone is very quick to actually say, yes, we'll buy land. And there's one person who is not, for the idea, or they would want to go into a deeper research of what they're investing into. But then because of the group mentality and just the lack of knowledge, you end up making high risk, investments. Number two, I think disagreements, and those happen. Whether you're a family, whether you're friends, whether you're people like-minded, whether you're twins, you've come together and you want to, invest together as a group. Disagreements tend to happen, especially when it comes to certain situations where it involves money is involved, for sure. And I think one of the most difficult conversations people don't like having is money. So at that point, or when someone has made a decision on something that they prefer, that does not necessarily help the purpose or benefit the members of the group, then disagreements tend to happen. But how do you solve these disagreements? I think just having a proper structure, having a proper legal process, having empathy, having emotional intelligence to actually say, this is the decision we are coming up with, and this is how we are going to give to the members. Because you see, sometimes it's just in the communication, it's just in how the decisions are made that actually bring these disagreements. So being able to have the intelligence to actually know, how do you approach the members, how do you approach the different opinions, because everyone will have an opinion, and they have all the rights. Unfortunately, they have all the rights. So I think those are the challenges that we had not stated. So how do we mitigate this? I think number one, having expert advice. Sometimes when you're coming in as a group, you might be very correct. You have the purpose, you have the right people, you have the right mindset, you have the discipline to invest, or the discipline to save, but you do not know where you're going to invest. Everything might be very true, but you do not know where or what you're investing, you're getting yourself into, or do you even understand the market you're going to invest in? So being able to either having experience in that industry. So you understand, I am going into real estate, I have understood real estate, I have understood the company I'm investing in, I have understood the people, I have understood the risk, and the return on investment distributed amongst the members. But if you're not in a position to do that, even You as an individual and you as a group,
yes.
how can you outsource expert advice?
Yes.
So that the moment you're making a decision, you're actually making an informed decision
yes.
that might not jeopardize the whole group.
Yes.
Yeah? And number two, how do you make data-driven decisions?
Yes.
I think that is usually the biggest challenge, because once you've gone past people decision is usually the biggest, when you're starting a group or an investment group or a chama, people decision is key. But you have already made people decision.
Yes.
How do you make data-driven decisions so that it's not out of, nasikia. Nilisikia.
Ziko na profits.
Yes. So it's not out of hearing, as in nimesikia, nasikia kuna, nasikia it, nasikia, Yes. It's actually proven that when you're getting yourself into this is what you're getting, getting out of it.
Yes.
And then defining the return on investment period.
Yes, for sure.
Kama ni 10 years. Tunaingiza hii kitu hapa na tutoi pesa for 10 years.
Yes.
Being able to define that investment period so clearly that every member has clarity. There's a lot of clarity amongst the members, amongst the leaders, whatever is coming from, you see, if you have a leadership structure, whatever is coming from the leaders and what is coming from the members is aligned. Yeah. So being able to say, we're doing this for this number of years, our return on investment will take X amount. Whatever we are getting, we are putting back to the investment, or we are buying you a car.
Yes.
Which might not, enable the investment, but ensure that you have a lot of clarity on, where how you're investing, the period you're investing. Everyone is perfectly okay with, what they're.
Yes. And also when you're getting into these investments, ensure that every member is really involved. When it comes to signing, every member actually sees that document so that they can be able to understand. And maybe even have those sessions where if you need like in our case, we handle sale agreements. So having all the members go through the sale agreement and understand each clause, so that when you're starting the investment, there is clarity.
Yes,
for sure.
And then I think don't be too fast. I think when you enter matatus, boy, COVID has really you don't enter matatu. But if you enter matatu here in Kenya, they're usually 2 stickers. Don't rush. God is due. Whatever is yours will come. But those things are true. Might not be in those words, but don't rush your purpose.
Yeah.
So you've told yourself that you guys as a group, you would want to get to financial independence. This is how you want to get to financial independence. This is the X amount that you're contributing.
Yes.
But at the back of your mind, remember COVID ever happened.
Yeah.
You need cash buffers.
Yes.
So how do you get to a point where you say, yes, we are starting to invest, or we are starting a group, or we are starting, we've come together and we'd like to invest. You need to have cash buffers.
Yes.
So meaning if you're starting to save today, and your investment is 1 million, and you're saving, say, 100K a month, it would take you 10 months to get to 1 million. However, you will not start investing on month 10, because it means if you will put all your money
and you start
and
from
then
zero.
what happens?
Zero.
Because you see, you need to have enough cash buffers that might not, shake the group, even if one member, and unfortunately things happen. One member pulls out, or the investment that you decided to go into. Kunywa maji. Thank you so much. I can still see comments coming in. Sam is saying, very true, Martin. That's quite a good approach. He's answering Martin, who shared above. I can see Anne Joroge, watching from UK, have invested on my own with TSAVO, but shared with my Chama group. Very insightful. Thank you so much, Anne. Anne is one of our investors. She's invested with her group as well as herself. And maybe, Anne, you can just share, how has it been? What encouraged you to come from the group and actually have confidence to come in by yourself? I can see Martin Kanye, for any investment or chama not to start going down, it's for them to have a clear goal with what they want to do. I think Sally has really talked about, the why.
The why.
Yeah, I can see Jacinta Wambwe. Hello, everyone, just joined. I can see Brenda Tirok. Part from money part.
Apart from the money
part.
part.
Apart from the money part.
Yeah. We support, encourage each other, and do really enjoy each other's company.
That's your
yes.
Sema mimi wa chama. But that's a good place. And I think even having the unity is beyond the investment. I think just having a benefit of saying, I have a friend, and I think being able to know I have someone who will be able to back back me up when in times of trouble.
Yes, yes.
I can see Brenda saying, lovely topic, together we can. Thank you
Yes,
so much,
together we
Brenda.
can. Yes.
I can see Isaac, what are some of the requirements of investing in real estate as an investment group or chama?
Or chama?
Yes.
Okay, so when you want to invest in real estate, for example, if you want to invest in our houses at TSAVO, ideally we would encourage all of you to first come to site, come and see us, come and visit us at our office. We'll get to pick the unit that you'd be interested in, the number of units, for example, and then now we'll get to the process of doing the sale agreement. Of course, we'd really want to have, if you're a group of more than 5 people, for sure, we'd encourage you to form a company so that we can be able to register the units under the same company, and then now you'll proceed now to do the directorship and now the legal process in terms of your company. Yeah, and yeah, you're good to go. So ideally we have different projects. Our payment plans are usually very flexible depending on which project you want to come in at. You can do as low as 20% deposit on an apartment of even 2 million, for example. Yes.
So, and of course, maybe just to add on what Sally has said, if you're coming in as a group, of course, we encourage you to form incorporate a company.
Yes.
Why we do this, yeah? And I had spoken about one of the challenges was disagreements, yeah? When you're coming in, we don't want to assume that, because you've come together, you're dependent on each other. No. Everyone is an independent party as an investor in the group.
Yes.
And so when you form a company, you are separate from that company.
Yeah.
When you're coming to
Very
invest
separate.
yes, you as an individual, me as Martha, Nime slap Sally, I am very separate, Nini from the company. So it will not affect, the investment, the investment process. Yeah?
Yes.
It's usually easier when you form a management company,
and
and of course it just creates order as well.
Yes, it creates order.
And I think maybe just to add on it, when you're coming in as a chairman, now you need to define what kind of group are you. So they're non-profit groups. Maybe just to give clarity.
Yes.
If you're a non-profit group, then you can't own an apartment. You need to have changed to have that
limited.
You need to change it to a limited company. Yeah. So for a non-profit group in Kenya, you will not be able to own property, especially on lease. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's easier. Of course, you need to know just the nitty-gritties. But when you're coming to invest with us, it will be able to take you through the process and just see what you need to do and what you've not done or what you need to do better.
Yes.
I can see Dennis Mboti. Dennis Mboti is one of our investors. Great discussion. Thank you so much, Dennis. You can see Esther Wanjiku, Martha and Sally. A very nice show. God same. Don't rush to PP. Shamba.com. But thank you so much, Esther. I can see Harriet. She's saying very informative and insightful. Can't wait to visit you guys and start the journey. Thank you so much. Please visit us. Check our website at TSAVO.ke. Check all our social media handles. And of course, visit our sites. We're always available. I can see people are still tuning in on Instagram. And I can see comments coming. I can see Vency. I hope I've been able to say your name right. Kindly confirm on the process of a 5-year payment plan or a studio and a 1-bedroom. Maybe we can send more information. I think the communication team can forward more information on just the brochure to show you what the payment plan looks like. But we'd be very happy to take you through the investment journey. I think Sally had already mentioned what you require is you select the project you'd like. What you're currently selling is Skywalk in Gongro. So you select a project, you select the unit that you'd prefer, and then you start the journey of purchase. So 20%, and then the balance you spread it across 5 years. We try to make it, of course, as flexible as possible. Also on Instagram, I can see Fasi does it. He's one of us, and he is also our investor. He's saying great information on investment. Thank you so much. Thank you all for those who've tuned in. I really hope it has been fruitful. I can see Anne Juguna. I'd encourage young people not to waste time and start taking small risks. Love the topic. God bless. Thank you so much, Anne. I think Sally is a testimony of young people. Taking risk, starting it off. I can see We achieve. Yeah.
Oh, hi.
She say hi, Sai. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So we're still live. I think we are really running out of time, but let me just finish with the final comment. I can see Doris Muta. What are the requirements for investing in TSAVO individually? Maybe Sally, you can take us through that.
Yeah. So for individual, it's quite easy. Now you can come in either still do the same. You can either do a company, or you can still give us your ID and career pin, yeah, and then we'll start the process. But then the rest of the investment info is linked in our comments. I can see that. Yes. Yeah. So today we've just been talking about coming together and trying to see if you can be able to invest as a group. And we've had stories, very, very inspiring stories. Even in our page, we've been highlighting them actually. We've had stories of boda boda guys in Nakuru, who've been able to actually contribute a certain amount for a given period of time, and over time they were able to come and build 2-bedroom houses. Imagine, yeah. So you can start from wherever, you know, now just depending on what you really want to achieve. But I really believe that the power of unity is immense, and you can do so much more. Like in TSAVO, we have so many chamas who've come in to invest together, and then over time they've been able to get enough money to even now invest individually. Yeah. So I'd like to thank you for coming, for sure. I don't know if
there's still a few comments coming in before we close.
Yeah, so I'd like you to invite us to your chama, for example. We can talk more, we can have one-on-ones, get to understand the group dynamics, what you want to achieve in the long run. Yes, and don't limit yourself, for sure. If you want to invest, or if you even just want to build a house for your parents, you know, you can come together as siblings. So today we're just speaking, look for your family, look for your friends, look for your colleagues, yeah, and do something this year. Yani tetemesha hii mwaka.
Yeah. So I think we've shared Sally's number on all our social media handles. I can see there are a few questions that have come in. So if you'd like to just learn more about, you know, investing in TSAVO as a group or as an individual, Sally's number is right there, and her email address as well. She'll be able to get in touch with you. I can see she's saying my real names are Veronica Okelo. No, and Facebook names. So, yeah, we need to start being friends with all our investors on Facebook. Yeah. I can see Collins Kim as we head towards the electioneering. Oh, yeah. How safe is the bet on real estate investment? I think this might take a bit of time, but maybe I can just have a short answer. And this is a historic data from, you know, our past experience. Yeah, when we were doing one of our projects, 90 Degrees in Embakasi, we actually sold that project during election period, 2017, 2018, thereabouts. Yeah. Yes. And the project sold out in 3 months. Yeah. Yeah. I think. Yes, and I wouldn't disagree. External factors fully affect investment. For sure. Yeah. But however, you need to question, where am I investing? Because not all companies will be able to be stable. Even when you look at seasons like the pandemic, not all companies were able. All companies will be able to, you know, balance it out, or not even all investments will work. Yeah. So you need to really understand, what am I getting myself into, and if there is any, you know, problem. And we really hope and pray that it will be a smooth transition. Yeah. But in case of any problem, will my investment still stand a chance? So those are some of the questions that you need to ask yourself. And of course, when you're asking that now, you start questioning things like integrity. Yes. You start questioning your need. What is that you're trying to solve? You start questioning, you know, what's your ability. But the contacts have been shared. I hope we can able to touch base with Collins as well. Yes. And anyone else who might have further questions with regards to investments, the topic of today. Yes. I think if you'd like to invite us to your chamas, to your office presentations, to your circles, we'll be very happy to come. For sure. For the young people, we really hope that we've been able to encourage you to just start. Yeah. Yes. To just start. Yes. Yeah. And to wrap it up, I'll just say something small, that always forget that a small group, even a small group of thoughtful, like-minded, committed individuals can really change the world. Yes. Yeah. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a lovely weekend. Please come to our sites. We'll be happy to host you. Yes. For sure. Bye. Bye-bye. Thank you.